for today's encounter.
Just let me know when we can go, AJ.
Mike Adamson, the TMO, AJ Jacobs and Stephen Geldenays from South Africa are the assistants. Just about set for kickoff at the Shark Tank. A little countdown for those in the venue. But Jordan Hendrikse gets this fixture underway. The Sharks playing in black against Munster in red, and this is set to be a genuine test for both these sides, in the sense that Sharks, previously having welcomed Springboks back into their camp, have not always showed the kind of cohesion that they would have expected. And immediately Casey finding Crowley, who looks to put the ball on the boot, taken by Jordan Hendrikse, nicely taken as well, tied by Lukhanyo. Nche joins the back line, and now a burst through, seeking to break through the tackle. Vincent Tshituka back in the starting lineup after missing last week through injury. Ball is free for Williams, who spots a gap and looks to go. He's got support through Fassi. He's got two to beat. Sidesteps one. Is he going to make it all the way to the line? It's an ideal start for the Sharks. Inside 45 seconds, they're on the scoreboard with the first try of the game. A blistering start for the home side, and like a dagger to the heart of Munster in the early stages of this URC fixture.
Now, it's incredible pace from Fassi, isn't it, in the end, but Grant Williams, you just cannot give that sort of space. There's three Munster players sucked in, no cover on that far side, and you know, once Fassi gets this pace, little swerve, great acceleration. What a start for the Sharks, made by Grant Williams, and that massive space. I talked about the basics a minute ago, Dwayne, but you've got to make sure your defensive line is set. What a start for the Sharks.
Superb start for Aphelele Fassi, man who's one of 11 Sharks players in the Springbok squad that'll be facing Scotland, England and Wales in the Autumn Nations series upcoming. Well, there's a little check to see if there was a knock-on in the build-up to that try. Jordan Hendrikse lines up the conversion. Seems to be settling into his role at the Sharks really comfortably. There's Jordan Hendrikse, the younger of the Hendrikse brothers, both Springboks. Grant Williams with this wonderful eye for a gap, spots it and then picks up Fassi, who's an excellent runner.
Yeah, it's the support line from Fassi. He sees him in his side vision, if you like, getting in there, seeing that gap. But it all stemmed from Mbonambi's carry. The three Munster forwards are sucked into that carry because of his power, and then they don't fold around the corner and get their defensive line set. But brilliantly exploited by Grant Williams.
So an uphill battle for Munster, as if it weren't already an uphill battle against Bocklade and forward side, and certainly a back line that is capable of beating any of their best. The forwards piling in. The bigger men, Mbonambi, Koch among them.
Okay, now use it.
Just protecting the ball, giving Williams a little more time. Certainly developed as a box kicker as Grant Williams over the last couple of years. Kolisi takes after a little knock-on from Munster. Etzebeth looks for the carry. Tshituka now quick hands to Jordan Hendrikse. Esterhuizen is alongside him. Can't find the offload, and picked up now. Advantage being played to Munster.
Still got knock-on advantage.
Little handling error. Munster have been guilty of a host of handling errors as well in the early stages of this URC season.
Take him back.
Crowley.
Advantage over.
And flat, and advantage over, says Holly Davidson. Mapimpi passed through the initial tackle, getting past Rory Scannell. Sharks just inside the Munster half now. Williams again. And Fassi on the line, and now Kolisi in a rather unfamiliar position at 8th man rather than playing at 6. Keyter.
Off the foot, play on.
And the backline player who's not a Springbok at the moment in this Sharks lineup, Esterhuizen. Didn't make as many meters as he would have liked. Genuinely good at making post-contact meters, though, is Andre Esterhuizen. Named the Giant in his time at Harlequins.
Okay, yes, 9, use it.
There are plenty massive physical presences for the Sharks. Going up for the challenge. Is there a knock-on? Kolisi takes again. Nche. Hendrikse. Esterhuizen looking for the gap, then the offload to Mapimpi, who's going to go around the outside, perhaps, and in for a second Sharks try within 5 minutes. Sharks into double figures. And Makazole Mapimpi with a phenomenal strike rate in terms of try scoring for the Springboks. Scores yet another for the Sharks.
Yeah, and it's on the back of a high kick, isn't it? Munster lose that ball in the air. Keyter wins it, and then that width straight away. And Mapimpi's so powerful and strong. Calvin Nash will be disappointed. He slid, didn't get that strength in that tackle. Mapimpi's so powerful though. He just slides down along Mapimpi. What a try again, and it comes off a brilliant box kick from Grant Williams. The Sharks win the ball back, and immediately they look for that width. Esterhuizen, he gives the pass there. Really brilliant start for the Sharks, but a worrying situation for the Munster team in under the post there now.
Well, 2 scores down in the space of 5 minutes. It's certainly not the most promising position. This Munster side have the ability to fight. Hendrikse again successful with a conversion, makes it 2 for 2 with a massive boot. Makazole Mapimpi. Just a remarkable player. Esterhuizen had the option of finding either Fassi or Mapimpi, picked the speed out wide.
Yeah, I mentioned there Calvin Nash. It's difficult for him. He's trying to turn his body sideways to cover it. See does Esterhuizen go with it, so it's a difficult tackle. And you talk about that quality, that power and that acceleration from Mapimpi there to get through that tackle and finish it off.
For Heerden. Thanks for the Sharks, just outside their own 22.
Okay, 9, use it.
Williams looking for the contestable kick. Didn't go quite as far as he might have hoped, and pass to nobody. Picked up by Fassi. He'll put the ball on the boot.
Yeah, it's 3 kicks though from Grant Williams, and 3 that the Sharks have won.
Now Nash. Has been impressive in recent times for both Munster and Ireland. Klein, not unfamiliar to many in South Africa, having recently won the Rugby World Cup with South Africa and spent the bulk of his time playing abroad. And started out at the Stormers in Cape Town. There's Casey. Good to see him back. Lovely little offload here. Farrell, he's been running brilliantly. Casey is hit hard. Wrapped up by Fassi. They're inside the Sharks 22, importantly. Stephen Archer trying to protect the ball, and that'll be a penalty to Munster, and maybe a word or two of warning.
Push him when he wants to play the ball.
Yeah, Craig Casey's just trying to go quickly. Jack Crowley did brilliantly, didn't he, to get through those 2 defenders there and get it to Tom Farrell. But Craig Casey was on the inside. He was hit hard. I think it was Fassi that made that tackle. It's a big hit on Casey. Opportunity for Munster. That will certainly give them a lift as regards a line break. You know, they've started really slow here. Some of the basics that we spoke about early on.
7 man.
But the Sharks have been on fire, really, haven't they? So dominant. This is a chance for Munster.
No, I'll get them in. Good.
So Munster 5 metres out. Runouts have been a little bit of a problem for Munster in recent weeks. Scannell, who's had a couple of Nche assessments in recent matches, finds himself picking out his jumper successfully. A big drive here from Munster. They've got themselves over the line, but it looks to be held up.
Goal line.
Yeah, that's the difference, isn't it? Opportunity gone there, and it's Etzebeth. I think he saw Byrne running that little line. He wraps him up there and does brilliantly to hold tight Byrne up there.
Behind the kicker, guys.
Had a good tour of South Africa from the British and Irish Lions in 2021, did Tyburn. Scored a couple of tries against the Sharks, actually, on this ground. A very big win. 70-odd points, I think, they put on the board against the Sharks that afternoon. Hendrikse. Which is out, taken by Haley. He's been in imperious form so far this campaign. Second most metres of anybody in this URC season. Haley, over 300. Casey, crisp delivery off the deck. Finds Crowley, who goes high. And this should be comfortable for the mark, and Fassi makes no mistake.
Yeah, it's a poor kick.
you are.
Not a lot of options for Jack
Good guys,
Crowley
back
there.
10.
You know, what a dropout. Hendrikse gets great distance on that, and Mike Haley is great tackle,
good whenever you
impact
are.
tackle from Nche. And then there's loads of Sharks players in front of Jack Crowley, isn't there? The kick, the execution, the end isn't great.
Crowley takes it out of his 22,
Retreat,
lost the
forward.
ball again. Just through a little chase.
Back.
Oh, and that's knocked back by Haley. Well picked up. Ruan takes it up to the halfway line for
There it is there.
this Munster side. Casey. Crowley
On the
taking
ball.
it back to Nash, who's come off his wing. Driven back by the Sharks
ball,
tacklers. Esterhuizen going in for the challenge.
Advantage,
Archer
not
looked to find Klein, who has knocked the ball on.
Yeah, Stephen Archer making that tackle back inside to Klein.
6.
A lot of hard
When you go to
tackles.
jackals,
See
make sure your
Kolisi
first placement of your hands isn't on the ground, and then go through.
coming out of the
Make sure
line
you're on
there,
feet.
putting in a big hit.
Yeah, no bother, time off.
So much pressure there, front foot
Yeah.
defence, line speed from the Sharks.
Battle of two coaches who are under a little pressure in their own respects. Graham Roundtree of Munster and John Plumtree of the Hollywoodbets Sharks going head to head. Graham Roundtree, the man who guided Munster to the United Rugby Championship title in his first season in charge. To be fair, I mean, while it's a little concerning and there's talk of pressure on Graham Roundtree in particular, if you look at the starts to the last two seasons for Munster, they've also been relatively sluggish, and they went on to win the URC title 2 seasons ago and topped the regular season table last season.
Yeah, they're in a dreadful kind of run at the moment with the quality they're playing against. After Christmas, it's a little bit better for them, and hopefully, look, if you know the squad they have, if they get some of the players back, they'll
Nice
be a
and
match
square,
for
boys.
anyone. But at the moment, they're going through a difficult period, and you know, is there expectation with the Sharks in South Africa this year?
Crouch!
With the quality they have, World Cup winners?
There's great expectation, and one of the other reasons is last season John Plumtree inherited a squad when he was brought back to the Sharks. This season he's had the opportunity to piece his squad together. He's
And make some
chosen
signings
his
as
own
well, yeah.
players,
That
he's
break
made
out
his
until I
own
go to second.
squad for this campaign.
Same reset,
So this
not
is
for
the
me.
tester for John
that break
Plumtree.
out until the set.
Last season inherited squad, this season is his own squad. It's a no excuses season for Plumtree, and that's the way it's been viewed.
I think most people who look at that Shark squad would expect them to be in the mix at the end, given the quality of players they have. If they can gel together and keep a consistent run going.
And that's the key word, gel. Cohesion sometimes when the Springboks have made their way back into the Sharks teams has proved problematic. Interesting to see Kolisi playing at 8. So far seems to be acquitting himself rather well. He's got some lovely movement off the ball as Kolisi. Williams finds Hendrikse. Williams can't hold on for the return pass.
Number 3, collapse.
And the advantage was being played to the Sharks. Come back for the penalty, says Holly Davidson.
Yeah, against Stephen Archer, Nche, that power that you would expect, that scrummaging ability from him.
And he's been playing senior rugby now for over 15 years. Stephen Archer approaching 300 Munster appearances.
I will. I'm not seeing it at the moment, but
Yeah,
I
you
will.
can see that movement and that pressure coming on.
Yep.
Munster just folded down there. Interestingly, they're going for a kick. They're keeping this scoreboard ticking over.
I'll watch. For me, there was
I would have expected them to go to the corner and try and back their maul.
Yeah. I'll watch.
Hendrikse is in good touch and getting themselves further and further away from Munster. But yes, you want to see a side that looks to keep boot on the throat of the opponent, so to speak.
Yeah, I was there 2 years ago myself when I saw the Sharks getting a big lead in the first half, and Munster came back and got a draw to that game. Maybe they'll hope for some of the same if this scoreboard keeps going the way it is. There's only 13.5 minutes gone.
So 17-0, Sharks lead early on. Munster, though, are a side that are without a host of players going to various reasons, most injury. Without Conor Murray, who's had to return to Ireland for personal reasons, Shane Daly, Jeremy Lockman, Alex Nankerville are unavailable for this match, having travelled over to South Africa. And then more injury concerns. Peter Omani as well, called up to the Ireland squad. Jager, Kilcoyne, Gleeson, Liam Coombs, Mark Donnelly. And there's Joss Wycherley, who had neck surgery this month. He's out for 4 months as well.
Okay, 9, use it. Take him back.
Williams from inside his 22, but taken back. So, oh, that was brilliant from Haley. Got it nicely contested against Etzebeth in the air and came away with it. Casey finds Ryan. Switches sides. Comes to the near side. It's going to look to make a few metres. Lovely round the outside. Missed tackle out on the wing, and Sean O'Brien is just in touch.
No, he did the hardest bit brilliantly, didn't he? And then probably should have stepped off the left to stay in field as Grant Williams coming across to make a tackle. Initially, he did superb to get away. Sean O'Brien. Williams goes really low there and forces him into touch.
Managing to beat the first tackler, Sean O'Brien, who's been in some good nick for this Munster side, but moving from centre to wing. Another position he's unfamiliar with for this week's game. And Sharks having problems with the line out. Scannell takes, flicks it on to Jack O'Donoghue. Crowley, and that may be forward.
Forward.
Indeed it is.
Yeah, it was a chance, wasn't it?
Rory Scannell. It's good to see Rory Scannell back after an ankle injury which required surgery. It's kept him out for some time.
The frustrating thing for Munster in a situation like that, you're just letting the Sharks' defence off the hook with your own inaccuracies, your own mistake. That was a real chance to try and get a score, give themselves a lift.
Make sure I can see it.
It comes on the back of a line-out that the Sharks lose themselves. You've got to take those moments and make them count.
Pockets of red and indeed a few green Ireland jerseys in the venue.
Crunch!
Early stages yet of this game. Sharks lead 17-0. Already the handling errors starting to pile up for Munster of concern. Williams with a feed for the Sharks. Casey with some good pressure on Williams. Hendrikse ties up though. Fassi unleashes Mapimpi, who's got a little support on his inside. Mapimpi plays it back to Williams, who's got precious little support. Hendrikse flicks it back to the Springbok captain Kolisi. Into the halfway line. He's hit. Scannell with the charge. Hendrikse again looking to unleash the fullback. Fassi, who joins the line.
Here's the ball.
Koch.
Okay, 9, use it.
Hendrikse looking to test Haley. Again, nicely taken by the fullback.
Not yet. One player.
Captain. Taken by 2. Onto ground. Crowley. Certainly exciting times with regards to the Ireland number 10 jersey.
First player, play on.
It's a lovely pick up and go. Now Munster going for the line, going for the corner. It's going to be Tom Ahern, is it? Manages to get over, and Munster managed to get themselves on the scoreboard with a wonderful try against the run of play.
Yeah, it's out of nothing, isn't it?
First player on tackle.
Rory Scannell with the counter ruck again. Ball pops out the side. Thomas Ahern is there to finish
I
it.
didn't see that.
Jack Crowley with the high kick and some good tackles there. Is he in an onside position there? The ball pops out pretty quickly. I think Tom Farrell is back on his feet trying to counter ruck. Thomas Ahern did well in the end. Grant Williams is so quick. Great effort by him to stop the big man.
He's got the reach advantage, certainly does Ahern. It's over for a 9th career try. Scannell with the work that set up the scoring opportunity for Munster on the scoreboard, and importantly.
Yeah, they've obviously looked at it as well, Dwayne, so it was all right. Nothing illegal there, and it'll certainly give them a boost.
Right from the sideline, this will just drift wide of the post, so Munster remain on 5, trail by 12. A good score from Heerden. Very impressive ball handling. He's got decent speed. His ability to read the game, though, possibly just sets him apart. Reaches over, despite being brought down to ground by a retreating Grant Williams. Not too recently back from injury, Heerden. Byrne takes. So Munster penalty on the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, it's Etzebeth just hitting that pod. Byrne calls it out as well to the referee. He just engages while Byrne is still in that lift position. It's a soft penalty for Etzebeth to give away. Let's see if Munster can capitalise on that. Really good kick from Crowley.
Most capped ever Springbok, Eben Etzebeth, been given the captaincy duties by John Plumtree. Kolisi, who captains the Springboks, is relieved of that pressure in a sense. Some off-field pressure as well. He and his wife Rachel have announced this week their separation. The focus for Kolisi is very much on playing in the number 8 role at the moment against Munster and helping the Sharks to what he hopes is to be a 5-point haul. Good contest in the line-out. Munster managed to scramble back possession. Etzebeth again, looking to put a little pressure on Munster at the breakdown. Casey off the deck nicely. Farrell drives into 2, brought down by Keyter. Crowley on the halfway line. And this one is a little better in terms of judging distance. Keyter takes cleanly for the Sharks, though.
Again, it's just a little bit deep, isn't it? It's getting the timing right there and getting the chase is the ideal situation for Munster. Keyter did brilliantly.
Outside, guys.
Williams hoisted. Again, the Sharks looking for that contestable kick, but Haley's come up trumps on so many occasions after an initial couple of successes for the Sharks from those contestable kicks. John Ryan gaining a few meters, then penalty for the Sharks.
Yeah, you could see that one coming. John Ryan just isolated there. Kolisi sensed it himself. Got the arms locked onto that ball and got that lift on it, and a turnover for the Sharks. Mike Haley's done well, hasn't he, under the high ball?
Ooh.
Yeah, he was looking for everything out of that kick, wasn't he?
He was looking to eke every single centimetre out of it. Was Hendrikse. Hits the corner flag and stays in play. Etzebeth has it, though, inside Munster territory are the Sharks. They have the opportunity to run it back, their visitors. Koch.
Not on the body tag.
Good hands from Esterhuizen, doesn't quite have the room to run, and as I say, good hands. He's lost it forward in the tackle picked up by Hodnett. John Hodnett. Chase back for Fassi, who needs a kind bounce. It's a great chase as well from loose forward. Lovely pass to Fassi. Looks for the chip behind Haley. The bounce isn't kind for either of them, but it is for the Sharks overall, and Williams is going to sneak in for a second try in successive weeks for the Sharks, who have their third now.
Yeah, what a score. Mapimpi, Fassi, Williams in the end. There might have been a little push on Mike Haley there. I think they'll have a look at it, but it was minimal if there was. No, I don't think there's anything in that. Great support, and he's so good at that, isn't he, Grant Williams? that support line, unbelievable pace, and they punish Munster again. I think Munster turned the ball over in midfield, and it all stemmed from that.
Mikey, can we just make sure that there's no push?
Yeah, somebody has
15?
asked the referee about that.
He's checking the push, yeah.
So Jordan Hendrikse, 100% kicking record so far. Regulation from virtually in front of the posts.
Yeah, the try is good. They've checked it. Again, if there was any sort of contact, it was minimal. But you know, Fassi, he's so good at those kicks, isn't he? Those little chip kicks over defenders. And again, Munster punished by the excellent counter-attack from the Sharks team. Mapimpi's been so good, isn't he?
Mapimpi's pace, and again, somebody who's got the ability to play that team role, picking out his teammate again with a plomb. It's something that the centre Lukhanyo arm is so wonderfully adept at doing. Williams, wonderful off-the-ball vision, put himself in the right place at the right time. Crowley, Munster trailing by 19. Let's play back underway, taken by Kolisi.
K9, use it.
Williams, the kind of performance that you might expect from a Springbok scrum half. One of two scrum halves at the Sharks who are on the Autumn Nations Series list for Rassie Erasmus' Springboks. Jaden Hendrikse is on the bench today for the Sharks, a regular starter. Helped South Africa to success in the Rugby Championship this season.
No.
One step.
K9, use it.
Inside the Sharks half. Kolisi picking up another loose ball. Trying to get past his man, brought down by Hodnett. Williams looks to pick it up immediately, but a few bodies land on him and the ball. Having his struggles in trying to release it, and Davidson says Sharks ball.
Yeah, she's given it to the Sharks there because they're still in possession. She was very clear there. The counter ruck was good. Ball is stuck underneath there. I think it's a correct call. It's calm approach, isn't it, from the referee? But Kolisi again tidying up those scraps. So strong in contact.
Certainly hope there's no concern for Sio Kolisi here, who's remained down on the turf. Graham Roundtree looks on with a little concern perhaps as well. Roundtree. On the far side is the director of rugby, Neil Powell, who made his name certainly in the coaching realm as man who headed up a Springbok 7 squad that was all-conquering. So Kolisi back on his feet. I suppose there are a couple of concerns as well for the Sharks. I mean, this is a side that were 28-12 up with a minute to play last weekend, and they only won by 4 points. They have been guilty of not playing for 80 minutes in many of their matches. They conceded 2 tries in the last minute last weekend. Is that a bit of a worry, you think, for Plumtree?
Yeah, the inconsistency last year, we've seen in the last couple of seasons. I mentioned Munster coming here 2 seasons ago when they won it, and just the Sharks switching off when they were in a very commanding position. I've seen it a couple of times, and it probably frustrates Sharks fans as well, and the coaches, the quality players they have, and it's just about getting that consistency, but it comes with playing matches as well, and I think that's what he's going to try. And you know, we speak about these players gelling. More games they play, the better for them to try and get consistency at club level.
Okay, well, you take the step. You're in control.
Munster, though, are a side that dominate the meetings in the URC. They've beaten the Sharks twice. They drew their most recent fixture in Durban. Sharks have beaten the Munster once, though, in competition in the European Champions Cup last year. Koch against Ruan on the near side of the park.
Crouch!
2 academy props on the bench, though, for Graham Roundtree's Munster. And Fox in line for his debut for Munster this afternoon.
Advantage, 3 not scrummaging straight.
An advantage to the Sharks.
In.
Yeah, no surprise they keep that in there. It's Nche again. I think Stephen Archer looked like he was getting a little bit of a nudge himself there, but not straight, according to the referee. I doubt we'll see the Sharks taking any ball out of any of their scrums in this game.
This is the second one that Jordan Hendrikse has not managed to find touch with. O'Brien. Launches a long way downfield, taken quickly by Williams. Similar to Jordan Hendrikse, who's beaten one. And Heerden has lost that forward. Advantage to Munster, picked up by Byrne. O'Donoghue has it out to Scannell.
No, it's not.
Advantage gained by Scannell, breaking into the Sharks' half. He puts the ball on the boot. Mapimpi thought it was going out of play and left it. Picked up nicely by Nche, and Munster well inside the Sharks' 22. Casey, Crowley goes crossfield, but he's kicked that in behind the winger O'Brien. To Heerden, who's already scored this afternoon. There's promise in this passage of play for Munster. And crisp off the deck for Casey. Finds Hodnett.
Not on your feet now. Stay on your feet.
Byrne. Helped by Klein. Picked up by Ryan. Through 5 phases now. Crowley, Farrell. Quickly out to Hodnett, and then out on the wing is Nche, cutting inside. Beats one tackler, but brought down by Kolisi.
Keep going.
Casey goes short side. Haley goes through, beats Tshituka, and is over for Munster's second on the stroke of half an hour.
Yeah, it's a brilliant try from Munster, isn't it? They keep the ball for the first time in this game. They built some phases, they ran some good lines, and they found that space. Great score, great finish in the end from Mike Haley. They're patient, the breakdown is good. Nche does well here. I think Mapimpi was a bit frustrated. He thought he got his hands on it. The pass is just outside Van Heerden there, isn't it? He just slips down on Mike Haley there. Good power from him to get the ball down there as well in the end.
I've got some, thank you, though.
Brilliant from Mike Haley, who started his career at Sale Sharks, now scoring against the Hollywoodbets Sharks. One step into double figures, conversion to come. To try to secure his place at number 10 for Ireland since Johnny Sexton's retirement. It's Jeff Crowley. There's much talk about Kieran Frawley, and I think many know the ability of the phenom Sam Prendergast, who's also been called up in the Ireland squad. Good competition to come for that 10 jersey, but Crowley's conversion unsuccessful.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be striking the ball that well for those 2 shots that he's had. They haven't gone beyond the post or even over the dead ball line. They've kind of come up short. He's cut across 2 of them. But yeah, as you say, there's loads of competition there, but Crowley is the one that's out in front still.
Oh yeah, and he was so impressive in South Africa earlier this year against the Springboks, as Ireland managed to beat the reigning world champions and get themselves to the top of the world rankings. Hodnett taking it forward again. Even with the initial tackle in the chair. Denying Munster any further progress. Casey. Nicely taken by Fassi, near the touchline. Hendrikse back inside of him, breaks it to the Munster 22 as he sidesteps Heerden. Looks to go past Klein, he's brought down. Williams sees a gap, manages to break through a tackle. Can't get past Hodnett on this occasion, but it's certainly an air of expectation in the venue. Mapimpi loses it back. Esterhuizen flicks it wonderfully collected by a jumping Hendrikse. Fassi takes it into the tackle. Mapimpi there to protect the ball. Advantage being played to the Sharks. There's Keyter off his wing. Nche.
No advantage. Not
Yeah,
rolling.
it's against Tom Farrell. He can't
You've
get out
ended
of
up on
there.
that side.
He kind of flaps over and can't get out. It is a penalty. Grant Williams is so dangerous, isn't he? You talk about the little bit of depth that's coming in that fly half position for Ireland, but that scrum half depth for the Springboks is off the charts, really, isn't it?
Certainly has been in recent years, and so many coming through.
Fassi has been a real find, hasn't he, for South Africa?
Oh, he's been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And he recently returned from helping South Africa to their Rugby Championship title. Victory over Argentina, final test, securing victory for Springboks. Had a series of injury struggles a few years ago, has Fassi, since initially being called up by the Springboks in 2021, but when he's fit, is an absolute asset for any team. Munster doing well defending here, not allowing the Sharks to make any progress. Williams again with a little dummy up there to protect it. So too is Tshituka. Keyter playing scrum half on this occasion. And so again, lays it off to Vincent Tshituka. Williams to Esterhuizen. Looks for the gap. Can't find a way through. Hit by Crowley. Took him low. Well, it's going to be a penalty to the Sharks.
Here's Mark. You need to come back around if you're going to counter ruck. Yes. No. Number 2. He's on the wrong side and then counter rucks through the side.
He looks a little bit frustrated, Niall Scannell. To be fair, they're trying to get off the line and be aggressive for obvious reasons with the physical power that's coming up against them. They did brilliantly there, Munster, to stop that maul. Scannell just jumped the gun a little bit there, and when you touch the scrum half as he's about to place the ball, low tackle, Crowley. Yeah, I think it's harsh. I think it's Ty Byrne really is the penalty is against. He just knocks Grant Williams backwards there.
But you're halfway up the ruck now and then play the 9 like this. You need to come if you're going to play. Yeah. Okay, guys, time back on. Scrum called.
Niall Scannell just having a check with Holly Davidson.
Probably saying I wasn't the one that played the 9.
Yeah.
It was the fella in the blue scrum cap.
Stay stable and go straight.
We spoke about the injury concerns for this Munster side. Sharks have a couple of key players missing too, including Bram Reinicke. Ethan Hooker is one of the biggest misses for the Shark side. Pesimona, Marnus Potgieter, Jal Penle. All those unavailable for the Sharks this week. With the return of the Springboks, certainly a massive boost for the Shark side, who've launched themselves into a rather significant lead in the early stages of this tie. Lead by 2 scores. And looking to add further misery to Munster's afternoon here. Esterhuizen with the offload, makes it through the tackle and scores again. Andre Esterhuizen, who scored twice on his Sharks URC debut, has scored this afternoon for the bonus point try, and the Sharks have an opportunity to go 21 points clear, 3 scores clear inside the opening half.
Yeah, it's too easy, isn't it? Just sheer power and strength. The scrum disintegrates and he runs that short line, gets through. Rory Scannell, Jack Crowley on the inside. He's so powerful. You know, the Sharks opted off that penalty to take a scrum. They obliterated that Munster 8, and then, you know, he's on the front foot. Grant Williams straight away again, giving that pass to a powerful Esterhuizen, running a really good line.
Jordan Hendrikse, somebody who's come from rather humble beginnings. He and his brother from what was formerly King Williamstown, now Koch in South Africa. One of the things that he's been very keen to do is outreach work, community work in South Africa, giving back to his community where he grew up. And I'm told he's a very good cook in his spare time. But he's on fire here, and he's certainly cooking for the Sharks. They lead by 21 inside the first half. A bonus point try already secured. And the latest by Esterhuizen, reaching the Munster defence as he cut in between Crowley and Scannell. So 6 tries in an opening half. It's been rather entertaining for any neutrals.
Inside. Use it 9.
Williams, being warned to use it, finds Nche. Known to all as Ox, but Ntuthuko, his name.
3, not now. Thank you.
Williams again hoists it. Haley looks to challenge.
No advantage gain. Play on.
Ooh. Hitting Holly Davidson on the shoulder. Lukhanyo arm looks for a little gap. Is brought down. Hendrikse again finding the big man Esterhuizen. Kolisi. This one has gone back, says the referee.
I think there's 2 knock-ons there, right in front of the assistant referee.
Option? Sure.
Yeah.
Scrum or line out?
Will they take a scrum or line out? Well, it'll be their first scrum of the game, Munster,
Yeah, so
if they take a scrum. They haven't had a scrum in this first half.
Yeah, sorry.
It's simply phenomenal.
Okay, there is a knock-on first. Okay, so first scrum then is Munster ball. The TMO has confirmed there's a knock-on by 14 Sharks first before touching scrum ball.
I think the Kolisi one is a knock-on.
Yeah, and then
grabs it behind and it comes forward. It's right in front of the assistant referee.
Hold that hit. Hold the hit.
Let's see if they can win their own scrum here and get Archer up on a bit of an angle on Nche. Very difficult if they've got to get this ball in and out really quickly.
So potentially the last play of this opening half that has already seen 6 tries scored, 4 to the Sharks, 2 for visiting Munster. Casey with the feed. Must have been driven back, but that quickly picked up by Donahue at the base of the scrum. Munster charging forward. They're lining up nicely here for pass from Casey. A couple of the forwards hoping to gain a little advantage. Here's Farrell. Lays it off to Haley, takes it into the tackle.
It's on someone's foot.
And Casey needed to fumble around a little to find that. Crowley searching for space, finds his captain. Byrne breaks through the first tackle, is hit hard in the second, then loses the ball forward. Kolisi in possession. Not looking to put that ball out of play. Wants to keep it in play. This is great cover from Calvin Nash, who looks to run it back at the Sharks, and very successfully, just ahead of O'Brien. Wonderful handling, back to Hodnett, into the Sharks 22 now. Munster wanting to finish this half on a high. They're halfway to a bonus point try, regardless of the result already. They scored twice, seeking a third before half-time. And with that, we are going to go to the change rooms. It's been a dominant performance from the Hollywoodbets Sharks against Munster at Kings Park Stadium. As URC round 6 action continues, Hendrikse has been flawless with the boot in converting the tries, but the Sharks have managed to score 4 times, with 2 of those tries coming in the opening 5 minutes of this game. It was an early blitz from the Sharks, but they lead by 21 at the break. So for that in the second half if they are to work their way back into this game. Crowley will get the second half underway. Sharks leading by 21 through 40 minutes of game time. Van Heerden takes. Sharks in possession from kickoff.
Okay, 9, use it.
Williams, one of the standout players undoubtedly. Esterhuizen looking to pick out Nche, but a little too low. Nche couldn't quite grab the pass down by his knees, but there was offside call against Munster, against Sharks. Munster.
Well, John Plumtree will be frustrated by that. Again, just gives Munster a little sniff here, a chance. Crowley going to the corner. If they could get something early in this, they might, make a little bit of a comeback. It'll be their 3rd try. Early, right after half-time, but look, they still got to get over the line against a very powerful pack. But mentally they've got to say the score is 0-0 and just kind of concentrate on trying to hold on to the ball themselves. But it's let's see if it's a costly mistake by the Sharks.
Well, Scannell finding his jumper on this occasion for Donahue. Ryan preparing to take this one into the tackle, hit by Van Heerden.
And away, Sharks!
Casey, Klein,
Not now.
Kolisi, and to force the turnover. One step, just over 5 metres out. Sharks defence has been a little porous from these situations in recent weeks, and maybe even going back to last season as well, where a star-studded side could only finish 14th of 16 teams in the United Rugby Championship, missing out on a playoff place for the first time in the United Rugby Championship era. Munster continue to press, building the phases. Scannell takes it into the tackle, inside 5 metres now.
Use it, Munster.
Archer hit by
Sharks,
a couple,
release.
including Fenter and Kolisi.
5 offside.
To 9 phases now, Munster. And as the ball comes out, Etzebeth picks it up, but advantage was being played to Munster.
Offside. Guys, come on now. Here we go. Offside, number 5.
So Van Heerden,
No, but the ball has come out once.
straying into an offside position.
Number 5, offside, starting in front. Yeah, offside. Is it tap and go? Tap and go.
Munster from 5 metres out will go with the tap and go.
Okay, let's go, Munster.
Well, Scannell with a little touch finds John Ryan. Hit hard by a very fast Sharks defence coming off their line. Etzebeth goes in for the tackle as well. Munster still have possession though. Scannell goes to protect. It's picked up by Lukhanyo, who saw the ball out.
No.
And Sharks
It's clearly back.
gain the turnover.
Awesome.
Esterhuizen has to barge his way past Ryan. Williams back to Hendrikse. Haley on the halfway line. Looks up, sees space, finds the gap as well. Cruises through the initial line of defence for the Sharks. Casey too beats tackle before being brought down by Tshituka, who prides himself on the number of tackles he makes. He's a goalkeeper in his footballing days, Vincent Tshituka. Doesn't like anything getting past him, it seems.
He's a serious athlete, isn't he?
And great excitement in South Africa as the Tshituka brothers, Vincent and Manu, have both received their South African passports. And the rumours have started they might be featuring in Rusty Rasmus's Springbok plans in the years ahead. Farrell breaks through a tackle. Couldn't get past Van Heerden. Quickly from Archer. Crowley. Only little handling skills. Crowley, though, stayed on his feet. Casey. Back to Ryan. Hit by Van Heerden again. Munster are creating genuinely tiring passages of play here, and they're running through the phases again. 10 phases now. Crowley out wide as they've gone forward and then spilled forward by Munster, so advantage to the Sharks and a disappointing end to a promising passage of play by Munster.
Yeah, it's good line speed, really quick off the line from the Sharks there. The pass in the end from Sean O'Brien, I think, is forward as well. Some big hits there from the Sharks defenders. Yeah, that's well forward, that pass. Keyter is up out of the line, isn't he, there, right in front of Sean O'Brien, but poor execution. They look tired, they look out of ideas there. Munster going over and back different ways.
John Hodnett, he's had his fair share of success against South African sides. He actually made his senior debut for Munster against the South African side, the Southern Kings, and player of the match performance. It was a big win for Munster, I think 68-3. They beat the Southern Kings by. Started in Munster's historic win over South Africa in November 2022. That South African 15 that was visiting the Northern Hemisphere, and was player of the match and scored the winning try in Munster's victory over the Stormers in the Nche final 2 seasons ago. So far, limited success against this South African team. Well, the Shark Tank is more than just a stadium, it's certainly an experience. There's always a lively atmosphere. And there are so many options for those who attend the venue to enjoy. Little pockets of red spread all around the venue, a few green jerseys as well. Munster and Irish supporters that have made their way to Kings Park Stadium in the hopes of witnessing a victory for the visitors. Williams wanting to take quickly. Back for the scrum.
Yeah, it's again pressure from the Sharks in that scrum. Nche looks like it was creeping across there, but Munster fortunate that that's not a penalty against him again. Stephen Archer is finding it really difficult against Nche, as most tight heads do.
Well, you've got 2 36-year-old props in the front row for Munster, and then you've got 2 academy props sitting on the bench. It's a difficult situation with the injury concerns.
There's a big gap between in age difference, and look, they have injuries. Lockman is out, Kilcoyne, Ollie Jaeger, doesn't help their situation, but you know, people have been talking about this for a number of years, that Munster need to try and improve and get more depth there.
Oh, that's massive from Esterhuizen as he meets O'Donoghue. Tshituka now with a lovely little break on. He's got one to beat. Doesn't have much in terms of support though. Tshituka carries it forward before being hit by O'Brien. Now beats his tackler, gets past O'Donoghue, offloads to Esterhuizen, barges into the Munster 22. Sharks on the rampage again, seeking their first try of this second half. It was a blistering start to the opening half, scoring 2 tries in the opening 5 minutes. It's been a little quieter in the second half, and that's a mark called by Nche.
That's incredible power. What a line from Tshituka. Just mentioned how good an athlete he was. Munster offside. They're going to get penalised here. Lukhanyo, he's had some really good moments. He got that crucial turnover a few minutes ago, and Munster were close to that Sharks line.
Shot called.
So coming back for the penalty is Graham Roundtree, former England and Leicester Tigers stalwart, and who made over 50 international appearances for England, nearly 500 first-class appearances as well. Long-time servant of English rugby, and has had success as coach of Munster. Vincent Tshituka didn't go to a traditionally rugby playing school in Northcliffe High in Johannesburg, having been born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but grew up in South Africa with his brother Manu. 2 other brothers as well, both who play rugby, but not at this level.
Surprising, isn't it, that they're taking shots at goal here, the Sharks, when they're 21 points up. You'd expect them to go to the corner.
This is to go 4 scores clear, I suppose. We go to 24-point lead now. Sharks 34-10. They've already secured the bonus point.
We don't see it often in the modern game, do we? We see teams going wanting more tries. You know, to be really ruthless in putting the opposition away. I suppose they're getting the score, keeping it simple, but it seems to be the mentality right from the start. Kick your penalties. It was 14-0 up, and they kicked the penalty to make it 17.
How concerning is Munster's defence? Bonus point tries against Connacht, Zebre. Although they beat Ospreys 23-0, superb defensive error. superb defensive performance. Well, the conditions were certainly tough for both
That's one
teams.
you've collapsed.
Again,
87.
Leinster, Stormers, and now the Sharks also scoring bonus point tries against them.
Yeah, it is a worry for sure. I think it's something that any team wants to be good at defensively. I know you can always aspire to score loads of points and get your attack going, and Munster's attack has been one of their hallmarks in the last couple of seasons. Particularly in that run last year, and obviously winning in 2023, but defensively, yes, they've been giving up opportunities to teams this season, and it's been a tough situation for them. You know, they've tried to fix it. You said the Ospreys game, yes, much better, horrendous conditions, much better after 20 minutes against Leinster. They didn't let them score in the second half, but it's something that again needs to improve, and they're going through a tough situation at the moment with these games, really tough games, and it's been a poor start. They had a poor start 2 years ago, so deep down I think everybody's hoping that they can get some players back and turn this around and then go on a run and try and get into playoffs at come the end of the season. But it is a long season, and at the moment there's a lot going wrong for them, things they should be better at themselves.
Host of replacements for both these sides. Van Heerden is off, a former Munster player, and Jason Jenkins has made his way on for the Sharks. But Ruan, Alex Kindellan among those who are on for Munster. And indeed, Dermot Barron back.
Tackle release, please.
Wants to get the call. Keyter looking a little perplexed and certainly upset. And he's spoken about in the studio. Potential for this game to get a little out of hand. Nothing untoward, just getting to know each other a little bit better.
I think Rory Scannell was politely removed someone there when he was slowing the ball coming back.
10, back here.
And that's what kicked it off a little bit.
That's your one. No. No.
Firm from Holly Davidson, first woman to actually referee a Springbok international. And she officiated in Bloemfontein earlier this year, South Africa against Portugal.
Guys, get your timing right.
Travelling Munster support.
Timing.
And they came out in numbers in Cape Town.
7 man.
As Munster took on the Stormers. Again,
A 7.
great pockets of support for this Munster side in Durban. Barron
Advantage in the air.
goes towards O'Donoghue. This is good from Munster. Real power, but the player in possession, it looks to be Quinn is being driven back, but penalty goes the way of Munster.
Yeah, there was contact in the air earlier. I think there's one or two of them early on in the game that were probably missed, even though Munster won it. Etzebeth, I saw him flying in early. They didn't contest. Let's see it here. The early contact. Yeah, that one is not as obvious, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. So another line out, 5 metres out. Barron, shots again, don't contest as Byrne takes. Driven sideways. Barron at the base on that maul. Casey out. Here's Farrell by his opposite number. Lukhanyo taking him low. Here's Quinn, youngest ever player to feature for Munster in a competitive fixture in the professional era. Here goes Casey with a quick little tap and go. Brought down by Fenter. The quick drive. Munster look to be over the line here. Holly Davidson is trying to get a sight of the ball, and we're going to go upstairs to see if that is a third Munster try.
It's held up. Yeah, I agree. We're playing advantage for 6, never back on side if it is not a try.
Quick thinking by Casey, to catch the Sharks unawares.
Yeah, Holly, it's held up.
It's held up?
Yeah, no evidence.
Okay. No try. It's number 6, please. 6. 6. You're never back 10. Off you go.
So Keyter is off. First yellow card of this game. Knock back 10. And he's in the sin bin for 10 minutes.
It's going to be here, okay? It's going to be offside.
It's Keyter.
Offside.
Always among the best of the Sharks in terms of tackle success rate. Brilliant breakdown is James Keyter.
He's really dynamic, isn't he? Munster went close there. Kendellen held up. It looked like it all opened up for Craig Casey, but he got stopped.
So, enormous opportunity here for Munster, driving towards the line again, trying to get this over the Sharks' try line. Casey with a little kick out wide, and that's not going to work out as Munster intended, but there was an advantage being played.
19.
Yeah, the kick wasn't good there, but they had a penalty coming again.
Looking to take advantage of the one-man advantage they currently enjoy. 9 minutes of Keyter's sin bin remaining for the Sharks. Still over half an hour to play. Little tap and go. Sharks quickly off their line to defend again. Munster driving towards that try line. Ball is available. Ryan trying to drive Byrne over the line.
Time off.
Again, time off. It's going to be checked.
So, AJ, you have held up initially.
Well, there's a good little pickup from Byrne, and then Ryan trying to help his captain over the try line. He's certainly over. It's whether or not he got the ball down successfully.
We've got a secondary action of held up. We just want to make sure that there was no downward pressure first.
Okay, stand by.
Thanks.
I think Ty Byrne thinks he got it down, but
our decision is held up. We just want to make sure there is no try scored.
So Mike Adamson, the TMO.
that's the initial tackle. Dermot Barn runs into a brick wall there, doesn't he?
Nche and Etzebeth side by side. Pick up and drive. Byrne saw the ball loose, picked it up, and then went for the try line. And trying to help him across. There's the ball. Nche looks to try to get himself underneath that ball.
Yeah, unless we see some compelling evidence, it's going to be given as the ball being held up, because that's her on-field decision, the referees.
Okay, Holly, I have a decision.
Yep.
There's no evidence that the ball has been grounded to overturn your decision.
So we stick with our on-field, which was held up initially.
Yeah.
Held up, goal line.
It's a disappointment for Munster. Still playing against 14. And still have the chance to take advantage. And outnumber their opponents by 1.
Strong defence, isn't it, from the Sharks, and they look like they've an attitude about not letting Munster over there. Really determined to make those tackles. Big work rate from all the forwards there.
Hendrikse wants to send it up toward the halfway line. Haley underneath this. Gets past Nche, but hit by Etzebeth. Donahue forward, Casey. Only quickly back. There's O'Brien, who's come off his wing. Trying to get that ball back for Casey, and that's a penalty to the Sharks for not releasing, holding on.
Yeah, it's Fassi there. He makes the tackle, gets back on his feet. You know, that's the danger with those passes out the back. If somebody comes out of the line and makes a tackle, it's so difficult to get around and make a constructive clean out there. Really good work from Fassi there. Again, it's another part of his game that's really improved defensively, and his physicality without the ball. Big gain line win there. So it was Mapimpi makes the tackle, and Fassi is in. Gets his hands on that ball. straight away.
Not yet, time's off. Thank you.
Mapimpi with another successful tackle, but again, Fassi, that wonderful foresight to get in. He's got strength, he's got speed, he's got skill, he's got vision, he's got all the attributes to be among the very best in the world. He's certainly looking to secure his position in the Springbok lineup. When you look forward for the Springboks, you get a sense, watching this URC competition, that you're watching a few long-term Springboks in this URC. In a few years' time, you might picture a backline featuring the likes of a Jaden Hendrikse, Sasha Feinberg, Makazole, Kurti Arendse, Damian Willems, Kanan Moody, Suleiman Hartzenberg, Aphelele Fassi.
Incredible, exciting players as well, and it's that depth that's coming through, isn't it? And the amount of players they have to choose from is such a brilliant place for Rassie Erasmus.
No, I set you guys on the tee.
This is
Okay, guys. No, I set you on the
Province
tee.
that has managed to produce some brilliant players over the years. Munster,
Boys, in you come.
certainly an eye on the future with the academy and a few academy players earning opportunities in respective seasons. Etzebeth comes down hard. Williams, Esterhuizen, lost forward by Nche. Advantage to Munster. Remember James Venter in the sin bin for another 6-odd minutes of this game.
Off the foot.
With the shin of Casey, but no advantage.
Yeah, Eben Etzebeth not too pleased there, that line-out win. Let's see if there was any contact. No, there's a little slight push from Jack O'Donoghue, but I think he's going out over, he's jumping out over Kolisi there. He wasn't too pleased.
It's okay, they're not involved in the scrum.
A little bit of, it's so dangerous when you go up on a line-out like that.
Okay, guys, let's get set up.
Come down without a lifter bringing you to ground.
Sharks have made a few changes. Jaden Hendrikse has made his way on to replace Grant Williams. Esterhuizen is off, and Francois Venter has made his way on. Shot to prominence around 10 years ago, Francois Venter. All 7 of his Springbok caps, though, in a very short period between the end of 2016 and the mid-season 2017 tests. And again, rediscovering some of his very best form for the Sharks. Casey, Crowley, to Farrell. He's having a good season as Tom Farrell. Crowley, quick hands. And driven back is Richley. Haley, scrum half. Hit hard on the halfway line. Mbonambi charging in for a tackle. All lost backwards. Haley again, it's high to O'Donoghue. A little bit of a hospital pass there, and he's hit quickly by Etzebeth. Kolisi trying to create the turnover for the Sharks. Barron quickly off to Quinn. Munster inside their own half, but looking to break into the Sharks' half now. Can't get past Tshituka, Nash, but he offloads to O'Brien, who drops it forward. And ball out of play. As we hit the hour mark, 20 minutes to play. Again, much promise in the build-up.
It's brilliant defence, isn't it, from Tshituka. Great work rate. Calvin Nash with the offload. Tshituka, he just gets across on the hit from Nche and Finney Wycherley, and that's where the problem starts for Munster, really. They're behind the gain line straight away. So much easier as a defensive unit to get off the gain line. It's a great cover tackle here. Forces Sean O'Brien to knock it on. It was all behind the gain line there for Munster, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Credit to the Sharks. Again, there's many elements of promise in the build-up. 16 tackles missed by Munster, 10 by the Sharks. Munster have enjoyed greater possession in this game, but Sharks have certainly made greater use of the ball. John Plumtree is feeding a few instructions down to the pitch. Young Springbok fan.
Yeah, keep it open, boys.
Taken by Etzebeth.
Advantage, 8 thrown across.
Opportunity to add to his 128 Springbok caps, coming for the Autumn Nations series for the Springboks. Back-to-back world champions are going to be facing Scotland, England and Wales. Ireland, though, are world number ones, and they've got 4 tests coming up. Lovely little backline play from the Sharks here. Mapimpi puts it on the boot, won't stay in play. Seeking a 5th try in this game.
It's a great attack, isn't it? Hendrikse at 10, the way he sweeps around from that little loop pass. Pace of him, it's difficult. Munster scramble across well, and in the end, Mapimpi's trying that little kick up along the touchline, doesn't get it right. It's good cover coming across from Munster. They're scrambling big time, aren't they, to get across. Just fends Michaeli off. It's Sean O'Brien who's come from the other wing to essentially save Munster there from conceding another try.
That's excellent from O'Brien. Again, certainly a great deal of commitment from O'Brien. Continues to impress in the Munster jersey this season.
Okay, 9, use it.
The Sharks making a few changes to their front row. Mchunu and
Good competition.
among those
play
on. Mbatha scored that late try, the
Keep
winner
going, boys.
against
No,
Dragons
wrong
in Wales. Etzebeth, hit by Barron, makes a few metres. Burns is on for Scannell. Rory Scannell, that is. Kolisi out wide, trying to release Keyter. It was a little behind where Keyter wanted it to be and unable to hold on, reaching backwards with the left arm.
Yeah, I'd argue Keyter was ahead of him. He just should have held his run a little bit. Of course, the pass is just behind that shoulder from Kolisi.
Yeah.
He's very flat, though, isn't he? It's nitpicking.
No,
The pass needs to be better for sure.
Still went across. I'll keep an eye, but not for me.
Eduan Keyter,
Okay, guys.
looking to get back to his best.
You
And
want the option?
ACL injury in 2022 certainly
You want the lineup?
curtailed his Sharks' ambitions for quite some time.
I think we regathered after.
Sorry for the Sharks in 2021 after scoring a phenomenal 18 tries in 2 seasons at a modest team, Griquas. James Venter waiting to make his way back onto the park. 20-odd seconds of his sin bin remaining, and then it's 15 against 15. Or a little over 15 minutes of game time. There's a little bit of a party happening for the Sharks. They've got a band playing in the outer grounds after this fixture. They've got DJs in the venue, both before this fixture and indeed during the match as well. Many activities for families, children. Among them, the kiddie pool. And certainly a few activities for the adults as well at this ground. And, the Sharks have brought a great element of making this a visit to the Shark Tank, an experience rather than just a visit to go and watch a fixture. Munster get this call and look to make it count.
On the ball.
Venter.
It's a tall order for Munster there. They've got a full penalty at the scrum. Craig Casey goes early. It's a long way to go, isn't it? Maybe you're best to put it up the touchline and try and build something off the line out, and in turn you're forced to kick.
Looking to take some positives out of this in the final 15 minutes of this time. Mapimpi brings Nche down. Billy Burns gets in, feeds out to Barron, hit by Mchunu. Burn, caught by 2. Charge down, Vincent Tshituka, can he pick it up and go over for the Sharks' 5th? Indeed he can. Rubbing salt in the Munster wound now, the Sharks, a kick charge down and capitalised on by Vincent Tshituka, who takes the Sharks to 39 and an opportunity to go 31 clear.
Well, it's all their own doing there. As I said, penalty, they go quick, and in the end they're punished. It's a standing kick from Billy Burns. It's just telegraphed really slow. Tshituka, he capitalises there, but
Not for me, Jack.
no, that's the frustrating part for Munster there. Again, it's an easy try conceded.
Back you go.
That was avoidable, to say the least.
Yeah, missed some of the celebration there with Vincent Tshituka. Actually did ballroom dancing and some hip-hop dancing in years gone by, so his celebratory dances are quite flamboyant and certainly inexperienced themselves. Marvellous from the elder of the Tshituka brothers. Part of the Sharks setup is younger brother Manu, involved in the match day 23 this week. Releases off just beyond the hour mark. Another impressive performance from the Springbok captain, who can now turn his attention to international duties. Hendrikse makes no mistake. And the Sharks lead by 31. Very ambitious individual is Vincent Tshituka, always looking to impress, prides himself on the number of tackles that he makes, but there are so many other elements to his game. Keyter takes it from the kickoff and looks to gain a few metres, does so. Phepsi meanwhile is on for Kolisi. Etzebeth takes it forward, pops up for Hendrikse, Jaden Hendrikse to his brother Jordan. And it's going to be out of play, and they'll come back. It's just outside his 22.
The ball's being touched between two, no quick.
Yeah, just overcooks that, doesn't he? Hooks it back towards that touch line.
One.
Line up Munster.
Scotland comes on for
Guys, just take one step.
Craig Casey.
You can see the difference as well, Duane. You know, two props change for the Sharks. Munster are gonna probably persist with John Ryan for the rest of the game. Kieran Ryan is on, the young loose head.
Little pop pass in towards Quinn, takes it into the tackle just outside the Sharks 22. There is Kieran Ryan from Limerick. Wants to debut at the start of last season against Benetton. Losing the ball forward is Kendellen, and the Sharks might look to run this back. Ooh, and this time it's Jaden Hendrikse who sees it slightly miscued. He was inside his 22. So no concerns that it went out of play. No let up for Munster in terms of the ability around the breakdown, with Grant Williams being replaced by Jaden Hendrikse.
How many guys? Four man.
Just going back to that change, Kieran Ryan, it'll be an experience for him. It's that power that's on Mchunu and Mbatha as well. They're powerful, really physical players.
Sharks getting themselves caught up a little in the 22. Good pressure from Munster, but looking to break through that pressure is Phepsi Buthelezi. Drives forward a good number of metres. Jaden Hendrikse quickly back to Jordan. Lofts it. The tester for O'Brien. Back. Ethan Coughlin. Very good all-round athlete. The scrum has had some success in both hurling and football.
Timing's here, fine.
And notably in rugby, as Byrne knocks it forward. Advantage being played to the Sharks. The man who's known for making metres on the park for the Sharks. Mchunu again charges forward. Mapimpi changes direction. Now Buthelezi again offloads to his captain, Etzebeth. Looking to take it forward. Here's Hendrikse. Comes off Keyter. He's let that slide past Mapimpi, who'd come off his wing, and the kick forward in hope more than anything else from O'Brien. Fassi this time doesn't get the kick right, and it's collected just inside his own half by O'Donoghue. Now, little break potentially on. Etzebeth holds on with his fingertips. Coughlin goes between two, but is smothered by Jaden Hendrikse and Vincent Tshituka. Again picks up a loose ball. It was available to be played, and indeed swoops. Now Fenter, Mapimpi. Makes through the tackle but can't stay on his feet. Into the Munster half. 9 minutes to play. Jenkins. 3 successive seasons in Ireland for Jason Jenkins, an injury-ravaged campaign at Munster and then 2 seasons at Leinster before returning to South Africa. Advantage being played to the Sharks. Tshituka holds on. Little flick back by Keyter. Another flick back by Jaden Hendrikse. Picked up by Aphelele. Mchunu to the Munster 22.
A knock on there by Red.
And another Munster knock on.
Yeah, it's Mike Haley there trying to pick the ball up with 2-0. So powerful, isn't he? You know, the strength and the power to be able to spring him off the bench for Vincent Koch. It's gone loose, isn't it? A lot of knock-ons, offloads, passes out of tackles.
Roy Williams, who stuck his hand up certainly for a player of the match award.
Outstanding
performance today. In the opening half, he was the undoubted star. And a couple of two-time Rugby World Cup winning Springboks either side of him.
And then once we say set, I need
Jordan
to see
Hendrikse's afternoon is done.
From a free kick to a penalty.
As he makes way for the very experienced Ntuthuko, 28. He's played around the various South African unions with the Lions, played with the Leopards, played with the Cheetahs as well. A series of playing with teams named after big cats. Joining the Sharks earlier this year. Crowd attendance a little shy of 20,000 in the Kings Park Stadium.
Okay, guys, you ready?
Munster looking to take a few positives from this fixture. And 6 of the squad will turn their attention to international rugby. The world's top-ranked team, Ireland, are going to be playing New Zealand and Argentina and Fiji, and then Australia for Irish rugby's 150th anniversary test at the end of November. 6 Munster players in the squad. Byrne, Casey, Murray, Crowley, Nash set to play. Money's included in the panel. He's going to be continuing his rehab, though, with Munster until he's available, building towards his return. Ntuthuko, quick hands from Ntuthuko twice. Quickly out wide towards Keyter. Breaks the tackle but can't reach the line. Jaden Hendrikse. That's a lovely interception, well read by Coughlin. He's being charged down by a host of Sharks players. It's who eventually catches him. Leaves it for Quinn. Takes it into the tackle, Munster. Gaining a good 50 metres there. Quick hands out, the kick out wide towards Nash. He's got Mapimpi in front of him. Inside of 2 Sharks players. Calvin Nash, is he going to go all the way? Brilliant from Calvin Nash, showing his international credentials, crosses the line, and Munster go to 15. Their 3rd try. They're 1 away from perhaps a bonus point try in this game. But Calvin Nash with his 20th Munster try. A superb effort from Munster in the build-up and a wonderful finish from an Irish stalwart.
Yeah, he did brilliantly, didn't he? Acceleration here between a number of players, gets inside Mapimpi. Worryingly, you know, the hand on the back there with some sort of a strain maybe. Let's hope he's okay. And it gives them a chance with, you know, probably 6 minutes after this kick to maybe get that 4th try, get that bonus point try, which would be could be really important come the end of the season to get something out of this South African tour. Lovely step for him, and it's that acceleration through there.
That's brilliant from Nash, who was exceptional in South Africa with Ireland earlier this year.
You can see there the player beside him, Ronan Fox, is on from the academy. Again, an experience for him.
Yeah, massive
Hopefully
debut.
it's a positive experience on his debut. Obviously they'll lose the game, but to get out on the field there, let's hope he can improve, and the start of a journey for him with Munster.
Very impressive for Ireland under-20s as they made the final of the World Championships last summer, was it? Ntuthuko for the restart for the Sharks.
Take it back.
And Sending it out to Barron, who's caught by Buthelezi.
Good 20.
Kept inside the 22 are Munster. Cochran, picked from Burns. Haley sends it out wide. There's a couple of good runners. Keyter goes in for the interception and then has passed it back into space. Now an opportunity for Kindellen to perhaps see Haley on his way. The bonus point try is only one away for Munster. Wonderfully industrious in many phases, particularly in the second half, Munster. And they've only scored once in this second half. Nche, though, with that try, looks for another here in the space of a couple of minutes. Brought down by Francois Venter. Cochran. Burns. Into Barron. And Munster building the phases. They're a little way from the Sharks try line. Ronan Fox wants to take the carry. Here's Barron.
Not held.
Hit by Mbatha.
Advantage.
Burn with a little juggle.
2 knock-ons. First one.
Yeah, that's poor. It's a tired knock-on, isn't it, from Tyburn? He's had a few, and this is a concern for, obviously, for the Sharks, but for South Africa as well. Let's hope he's okay. Eben Etzebeth.
Time off. Second row down injured.
Credit to Munster, the way they've come alive here.
Time off.
There's a little clean out there. Yeah, it's that impact in the clean out on the shoulder there. Nothing illegal there, I don't think. It took a big impact.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Let's see it again. Is it on that right arm?
I don't think anything cynical or malicious.
No, it's just some sort of an impact. You can see he's holding the right arm there. Opportunity lost there for Munster with that turnover. They had a chance there, hadn't they? Sharks looked a little bit disjointed defensively.
Checking at the moment.
Some massive concerns for many watching who fans of Springbok rugby. Over a dozen years he's been performing for the Springboks.
He's been incredible, hasn't he? Just the standard, the level of performance every time he goes out in the field is just non-stop.
A man who celebrates his birthday this week. To have news that he can join up with the Springbok camp. There will be some concern. There's already been an injury withdrawal from the Springbok players. Young Hendrik Wessels of the Bulls is had to withdraw from Rassie Rasmus' squad. Those tackles made. Here we go. Nche, Venter and Tshituka putting in a dozen tackles each in this game. Tshituka with some clutch tackles in this afternoon's performance for the Sharks.
Mike cleared all foul play on the 8 and the number 4. They play the scrum. Scrum. Sharks ball, yeah.
Trevor Nyakane, whose face you saw just a moment ago. Late change for Ruan Dreyer. Take a look at the possession and territory and then look at the score and tell me if they match in any way.
No, not really. Sometimes stats lie, and it's about being efficient when you get into have that territory and have that possession, and Munster haven't been today.
Advantage.
That's a great scrum from the Sharks.
3 up under
And
pressure.
genuine tester for Kieran Ryan and Ronan Fox in that front row against the likes of Mchunu and Nyakane.
Yeah, they had a bit of parity there for a little bit when those changes were made, but it's back to that utter dominance again. Ronan Fox never had himself set there at all, and that power of Mchunu just lifted him and popped him up in the air.
So Sharks going for touch just inside their own half. We'll have the line out. A very comfortable afternoon overall for the Sharks. Just taking a look at the 80 minutes in total. As much as I mentioned, the Sharks are a side that haven't consistently played for a consistent 80 minutes much over the last couple of seasons.
Backwards.
how would you evaluate what they've put down on the park against Munster here?
Yeah, they've been pretty ruthless at times, but they haven't had to work that hard, to be fair. Some of the tries have been soft. Yeah, so I think it'll be improvement for John Plumtree. He'll be pleased. Again, probably managing the game, and Munster have stayed in it to their credit. They've lacked the quality at times and the accuracy, and been overpowered, but you know, they've never given up. They've kept fighting away and tried to create chances, but you know, there's been a significant difference in that power. So John Plumtree, I think, will be pleased. Bonus point win, and there's improvement from last week again, I think, and that's probably the key for him, to try and get better each week. And some things will probably frustrate him. He'll be frustrated with that they didn't kick on and get a big scoreline here, where at times you thought that was going to happen.
Two-time Rugby World Cup winning Springbok captain Kolisi.
You want blood? Sure.
It's a big afternoon for Kolisi, who was impressive, but the man who sits alongside him, Grant Williams, was the star of the show, certainly in the opening half, scoring a try, setting up another as well. Impressive from the base.
Blood for number 17.
Most meters made. Williams second only to Mapimpi in the game. But his impact cannot be underestimated.
Not at all.
Coming into the starting lineup, Mapimpi, nearly 100 meters gained in this match. So, Kieran Ryan is off with
blood-bin
situation, and John Ryan is back on.
Yeah, one last chance for Munster here.
A minute. 7 man.
Munster have got some exciting times ahead as well. They've got a fixture against All Blacks 15 set for next weekend. The next URC match is going to be at the end of next month, when they host the Lions in round 7, and then Stade Francais in the first weekend in December as they play a round 1 European Champions Cup fixture. And they've got some local action. They'll take on Ulster in Belfast in round 8, and then finish the year by playing Leinster in Limerick on the 27th of December. Oh, so nearly for Munster. There was an advantage being played.
Changing back, number 4.
Yeah, they had the penalty coming. Etzebeth got penalised, and it was a good kick from Billy Burns. Fassi did well. I thought it was, he looked at for a second that it was going to go in behind him, and Nash was going to be the dominant one in the air.
Well, Munster
same line out, Mark.
Themselves
oh, you're going to tap and go? Yeah.
Down by 21 at the break. Up against a Shark side. They're looking to claim a late bonus point try against Barron with a tap and go. Munster, as we hit 80 minutes on the stadium clock, can they go over for a 4th time in this fixture and leave the Shark tank with some reward? Keyter is there to deny Munster. Quinn tries to drive over, needs to lay that ball back. They are lining up at the moment. Sharks require a big defensive effort. Munster needs something extraordinary. Looking to breach that Sharks defensive line again.
Back you go.
One final push, and they can take something from their visit to Durban. And Holly Davidson says there is the bonus point try.
Yeah, I think it's Tyke Byrne as well. It is, yeah, that experience.
Try for Munster.
Could be really vital point come the playoffs, getting into the playoffs, your position there.